Hi there, Muchan desu. And today we're talking about prices. I'm going to start with a brief meta rundown and then show the base hype Japanese prices, hype meaning the original release prices during that first month of play before they could depreciate due to other cards entering the meta, and then talk about why I think those prices are going to be very wrong for English. Okay, let's get started. So this is the defining meta in my opinion. I think we will see Red playing combination of Wargreymon and Gallantmon, and if they can afford the Omnimons, they'll put them in and take out some of these in order to make room for the 2-cost level 6 to ensure the acceleration to Omnimon and take out the Red Tamer, which takes away from some of Gallantmon's power. In blue, we'll see Metal Gurumon with a little bit of Leopardmon, and this again taken out in favor of Omnimon if they can afford it. Metal Gurumon Omnimon works really well together, so we'll see that main synergy. I haven't played Black or played against Black, so I can't really talk about it. I do know that Millenniumon is a broken card, and well, it's a very strong card and is a good answer to a lot of decks. The Millenniumon being used in purple with a combination of Beelzemon, Melgurumon, and Piedmon played really well. It's a little bit harder to play in Lilithmon because you don't want her to leave the board state, so I think that the Lilithmon deck, a little bit of Piedmon, is going to kind of stand alone. In yellow, Centaurusmon and Seraphimon will be the main powerhouses, but Magnadramon will be seen, I think, in all decks at a 2-4 just for the on-play recovery. It is 11, but we see this in a lot of Mega Beat decks, and I think it's just too strong of a card to not consider it even being an uncommon. I played Rusty. I lost to Omnimon non-stop playing Rusty. I feel it's very limited, and it might be better for green at this point to run for Puppetmon Dimension Scissor for the on-attack memory game with rest outlets like Lilymon and Flower Cannon. The green's gonna just have a really tough time this meta, and I hate that as a green player. So I think those are the main chase cards for these decks. I don't really know. I haven't played against this card, so I don't know how many people are gonna build decks around it. But anyway. So at first I was going to do a fancy PowerPoint and script and everything to show how I got to my price assumptions, but decided that it would be better to just show the math very fast. Because a lot of people will be able to go to like places like UT and be like, oh, it's a $5 card, oh, it's gonna be $5 in English, and just like, no. There's so many factors that you're ignoring, that differences in our meta. Oh, after 20 minutes of math, I finally need something that's a bit easier to look at. Now, each of these columns is the average price of the month of release. Any of the items that did not have a code equivalent 1.5. These 5 red items are the Badash Pack, alt arts. I guess this should be one column over it. I'm very tired. Now, I don't think these cards will be these prices. They're a bottom line for sure. I think Rust Time Ramon would be at least $7 in English. No, I think things like Millennium Mon will probably see 25 to 30-ish each. And Omegamon hit a... Once people realized that it was top tier, over the next couple months it went up to the current price where it's at 50-ish in Japan. So you kind of have to ignore that low price. And we need to talk about the chance of having a $75 to $100 Omegamon Omnimon upon release. Now, the reason for that is 3 separate things. I like to say. The supply is limited because of the pre-release. 2, the set size is bigger. And 3, meta differences. Most of these cards are going to be more expensive than their Japanese counterparts. As my final note, if the case ratio is less than 7 SRs and 2 hits, then our prices will be even more expensive on those chase cards. I'll write it this way. In Japan, set 2 had a 3.5 SR and 1 hit ratio. This meant that out of a case of 12 boxes, 6 had 3, 6 had 4 SRs, and then every box either had a alt art or a secret. A case of 12 had 4 secrets, 2 Beelzemons, 2 Black War Greymons, and 8 alt arts, one of which would definitely be a Beelzemon and one of which would definitely be a Black War Greymon, meaning that one case, which would cost you about 450 USD, would get you 3 Beelzemon. Black War again, which this is not in our set, so it's kind of beyond the point. If I buy one case of our 1.0, I would like to see 3 Beelzemon. But if there's only 1 hit per box, and there's 3 secrets, in order to get up to, 3 Beelzemon out of the 12 cases, you'd have to have 2 Beelzemon, 2 Vtubers, 2 Greymon, Metal Greymon rather. Two, and then 1 of each alt art. That would be 9 secrets, or I guess 6 secrets, 3 alt arts already, and then it's only have 3 slots left for the rest of the 15 to 17 alt arts. And it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense for there to be any equivalency unless there's 2 hits. With the 7 SRs, means 7 times 12. It's at 84. Times 12, yeah. 84. Where in Japan, they're getting 42 SRs a case. So again, it would be exactly double, because we are spending double. Our packs are doubled from 6 to 12. Right? This is why I think our case ratios and box ratios need to be double of 3.5 and 1. Because if they are not, all of these prices are no longer relevant. So, I feel like I'm repeating myself. If you buy 1 box, you're spending 80 USD, you want to pull a value of a 100 or more. if we only had 5 hits a box, which I actually saw someone say that. Someone said we were only get 4 SR and a secret. That means if you pull just basically a lot of these cards are either $10 or $20, right? Unless you get Omnimon, right? You would pull maybe $50 in cards and 1 secret, which would be about 30-ish. You would only break even with your hits. And that's being generous. That's people don't want to invest if they're not getting above their value. And people would end up wanting to sell their cards for twice what they should really be going for, meaning that everyone's decks go from being, $100 to build to being like $300 to build because of scarcity. Having a really low hit rate just means the market shifts in a way that we can't even calculate. That's why I get frustrated, because maybe we only get 6 SR instead of 7, maybe. But logically, Bandai shouldn't be hurting players in a way that makes it impossible to build decks with the same amount of money spent. As always, take prices with a grain of salt. We won't know how much these cards will go for until they start selling out at lower prices, getting put back in stock at higher prices and selling out again, right? That's how the market forms. I definitely say that there's a chance that things are going to get very, very expensive come early December. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.